There are fears global food prices could be about to skyrocket, with the world's grain bowl, the US, in the midst of its worst drought since the 1950s. It's already pushed corn prices up 60% since June, and dairy prices are also on the rise. With us now to explain what's going on is Nigel Brunel from OM Financial. Good morning to you, Nigel.
Morning, Jane.
Just how dramatic are the price rises in terms of what you've seen historically?
Well, we really haven't seen grain prices in the US go like this. We've had a sort of a drought scare back in '08, but grain prices, especially corn and wheat, have effectively doubled in the last few months on the back of the worst drought they've seen in over 50 years. So in all our years of sort of trading grain and commodities at OMF, we really haven't seen prices, run dramatically as this.
I also mentioned dairy prices going up. What is the correlation between those grains and dairy?
Yeah, well, in the US and in a lot of other parts around the world, barn fed is the way they raise their cows and a lot of their animals. So a lot of corn actually goes into feed for animals. We don't have that here in New Zealand. We're basically free-range cows. But given milk is a global commodity, naturally if US milk prices rise on the back of higher inputs, then we'd expect to see price rises here to a similar
So
amount.
we do have just a bit of a graph to show you of what is happening to grain prices and what is happening to milk prices. How likely is it that what we can see on the graph there happening to corn, wheat and US milk will happen to that New Zealand whole milk powder? Yeah,
well, even though we don't have the same input prices as they have, we sell our product on the international stage, so you'd expect our price to receive for our milk to be the same as you receive overseas. And as you can see from that graph, it's gone up pretty dramatically in the corn and wheat and soybean prices, and naturally US milk has followed on. Now they're coming out of their season, we're coming into our season, so we'll see what happens. But if pressure remains on the international milk price, then we'd expect our prices to reflect that as well.
So in terms of the benefit for our economy, it could be a good thing, but you could also see prices of other foods rise?
Yeah, it's sort of, every silver lining has a cloud, so to speak, to turn that around. But yes, look, we could actually benefit from that because we're looking at milk prices for the farmer to be lower here. Now, with this drought problem in the US, and if it persists next year, this could be a bit of a silver lining for us in that respect, though we could domestically see prices go up here for such things as bread, milk, grain, bread, eggs and so forth, simply because of the impact on the grain markets.
So are we looking at significant food price inflation then?
Well, we have had a sort of a doubling in the price of corn and wheat over the last few months, and we are a bit of a just-in-time inventory kind of society now. So if the prices remain high, and we do expect them to remain high, even though they won't go much higher, we do expect that to filter through to pricing that we may see in the supermarket in the next few weeks and months.
And if the drought breaks?
If the drought breaks, then we're okay because everything grows again next year. So corn's a once a year crop. So if they get it back in the ground and it grows well next year, and we don't pull down stocks that we're holding, then prices will return to normal pretty quickly. But not till next year.
Fingers crossed then. Thank you, Nigel. That is
welcome.
Nigel Brunel from OM.